Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 14 of Introduction to Criminal Justice. This week we're going to be covering Chapter 12, Prison Life. And it's just Chapter 12, the reading assignment, and just the PowerPoint that's associated with the reading assignment. There's no discussion board, no journal entry. Because after I want you to review the material up until this point from the midterm forward to start preparing for the final exam, which will be coming up at the finals week in the first week of May. We'll talk about this week, we'll talk about the realities of prison life, specifically prison subcultures. There's a lot involved here, so take your time going through the material and reviewing the PowerPoint material as well. Some of you may actually be thinking about a career in prisons or in corrections, so it's a good opportunity to dig into it a little bit more and get a better understanding for what it is in terms of being incarcerated from a prisoner's perspective, as well as from a correctional officer's perspective. We'll talk about the differentiation between male prisons and female prisons and what special challenges female inmates are facing while they're incarcerated. We'll talk about some of the causes of prison riots. Is it because of how the dehumanizing conditions are, or is it because of an insensitive administration in the correctional facility, or is it any other number of factors, and how, if at all, can they be prevented? We'll talk about covering prisoners' rights and review pertinent United States Supreme Court cases regarding prisoners' rights, and focus on the freedoms versus safety balancing test. Take a look at page 387, and it talks at length about conditional prisoners' rights. We'll talk about some of the major problems that are facing prisons these days, including overcrowding, health concerns and considerations, older inmates, persons with intellectual disabilities, and certainly persons with mental illness, a huge problem for prisons and for law enforcement overall and the criminal justice system at all when you start talking about those special considerations. And why are prisons dealing with more and more folks who are affected by mental illness in today's day and age? So there's a lot to cover. Take your time going through it. I know the PowerPoint's going to be a little bit long, and it's going to take a little while to download because there are some interesting videos that I've included that I think you'll get some benefit from if you take a few minutes to review them. So that's what you got for this week. Next week, we'll be talking about and giving the information on the final exam. So focus on what you need to do this week. Get caught up with any assignments that you haven't had a chance to catch up with, and get them submitted to me before the final exam week. And have a great week. I'll be looking forward to speaking with you next week.